Hey guys, welcome back for Towers Films here and joined by
Doug, 218.
how
Like the hat.
thank you, look, it's a ladybug. Isn't it cute? You might notice by my logo I like ladybugs. So I had to wear my ladybug today for our eviction night episode of Big Brother Canada season 7, episode number 5.
Addiction number 2.
Two second eviction. So when we last left off on Wednesday's episode, Kira and Mackie were on the block. Adam had one POV and he didn't use it. And it was looking like Kira was going to go. She seemed to be the target. But as I told you on the last episode, if you watch the feeds, things were starting to veer more toward Mackie going.
And we got to see why.
And you start to get to see why. Well, it kind of makes sense. So now if you actually watch it, I mean, if you're watching the feeds, you would have seen, but if you watch only the show, which a lot of people do, at first you could kind of see why they wanted to get rid of Kira. The fact of she tends to isolate herself somewhat. And it seems like if you go by what Eddie said, because what Eddie said, like during the eviction or during the vote, it was like, well, something about you don't talk to shy people or something.
It didn't make a lot of sense. And
Well,
because his accent's so thick, I had a hard time understanding.
well, it sounded like something like you don't talk to shy people, and I'm a shy person, or something about it being a waste of time, or something like that. If you guys know, put it in the description
Please let
box.
us know.
But put in the description box, or the comment box, I should say. But it seemed like you kind of got that she's really rubbing people the wrong way, and the fact of, again, she says she's not being emotional, but she's spending a lot of the time in her bedrooms crying, and it seems like she's alienating a lot. Like, because then there was another point, she's upstairs near the main door, and she's just sitting there, and Mama Kaylin, comes up and is talking to her, but it's very standoffish with them.
And she more or less just tuned her out and just said,
well, because Kaylin kind of trying to talk to her and more or less saying, you
got to get involved.
You got to get more involved. You want to stay fight for it.
Yeah.
And she's like, well, yeah, but you've got a good social game and stuff. Well, so can you as part of the game. I mean, 99% of this game is social. So it's not like Survivor, which is also a social game, but there's
it's also physical.
There's a lot more physical a component to it. Not just challenges, but surviving and stuff, where this is a mostly social game.
Yeah.
I mean, like, they do challenges, 2-3 times a week. Mm-hmm. But the rest of the time, they're having to make allies, make friends, well, not take anybody off. Even if people who don't necessarily like you, you gotta stay under their radar, so they don't want to target you. So, and Kira is not doing a good job of that, even though she said she would. Although you did start seeing her fight a little bit, but
well, you saw Damien try and get her to interact.
Yeah.
Mama Kay tried to get her to interact.
Well, because he even said to her, Damien, and one of the times she was in the bedroom crying, he's like, come sit in the hot tub with us. And she's like, well, why am I going to go sit out there with people who are going to ruin my dreams? Well, everybody's there. Everybody wants to win. Only one person does win, and you're not going to win by sleeping or hanging out in the bedroom crying. Not going to work. So you kind of saw for the first part of the show really why they're targeting Kira. So then you see why the target's starting to shift to Mackie.
What a buffoon.
His main thing is, I think some of them he's coming across as arrogant. And he's throwing out the names of the ones that are right now in power. Yeah. Like Dane or Adam, all that kind of stuff, which other ones have heard, like Kira used that to her advantage. She told Adam this, that she heard them talking, about with Stephanie and Kiki, about getting rid of Adam and Sam and that they're competition beasts and all this kind of stuff. So of course that's sinking in.
Yeah.
And then
Oh.
Mackie goes and talks to Dane, who's still HOH at this point,
Mm-hmm.
and he says, like, Dane asks him,
If
who
you
would you
win,
put up? If you win, would you put me up? And Mackie flat out says, well, yeah, sure I would, because you put me up, so why wouldn't I put you up? Kind of a
tit
tit
for
for tat
tat.
kind
Yeah.
of thing. And hello, what are you thinking?
You want to kill your game? That'll do it right there.
Dane is still HOH. At this point in the game, most of the people want to do what the HOH wants. So, hello.
And what was funny, as this clip's going on, it suddenly cuts to the diary room, and there's Dane going, seriously, bro? Seriously?
We were saying that.
It's like,
what are you thinking? Why the frick would you say that? Even if it's not true, you lie. It's like Big Brother 101.
You tell them whatever they need to hear to keep you there.
Well, yeah, I mean, you were not really, you were on the radar, but not really. You weren't even the target. Sam was actually his target. But of course, when Saddam won, they knew he couldn't put up who he wanted. But so it wasn't even you. He was just going to stick with getting rid of Kira until you say that.
You shot. Sorry, Mackie. You shot yourself in the foot, dude.
And so, and yeah, I mean, it's like there were ones in the house that are not really meshing well with him either. So about half the houses, and I mean half the house kind of aligned to the pretty boys in a way, and then the rest of the house are like, you've got like Kaylin, Estefania,
all the normal folks,
Kiki, all the I can't think of Damien. They're kind of on the other side of the house in a way. They're not really allied, but they're kind of not necessarily with the other folks in a way. So
they're grouped together by default.
Kinda, yeah, but I don't really see them as a big, like, an alliance kind of, except maybe Kiki and Estefania. They're allied, but
and also these two were trying to, hope to bring Mackie into this whole idea.
Well, he kind of was with them. Like, they kind of were talking about it.
And they're like, we could make this work, but you gotta shut up,
Well, even Estefania said that, because he told her that he said this to Dane, and then she's like, well, that was stupid. Which it was.
I do applaud her for, like, telling him straight,
Well, I think that's what he liked, that she's honest, and it's true. I mean, you can't do that. Doesn't, I mean, hello. But, and so then Dane came in, and she tried to help salvage Mackie's game by saying, it was a dumb thing to do. He wasn't thinking. It was just and he even said that. It's just like, it was automatic. He didn't think of it that way.
It's just, it was a truthful response,
Well, the thing is, this isn't really a game of truth. It's a game of deception. And, I mean, no, they don't have the same logo as Survivor, which that would play out last. But, it's kind of the same idea. Like, you kind of have to outwit, and you have to. It's a game of deception. Well, yes, you have to have your allies, but only one of you is going to win this. So,
well, like Dan said,
leave your heart at the door.
Yeah, you got to
don't leave your brain at the door.
You got to check your conscience and your heart at the door. You got to play this as it is. It is a game. You got to play it like a game. So if it means I gotta tell you whatever you need to hear. Or you got to tell me whatever I need to hear. If it keeps you there, you got to do it. But to look at the HOH and go, yeah, dude, you're next.
No, well, yeah, I put you up. You put me up, right? You put me up, right? So it's only fair that I put you up. So, I mean, you don't say that to the frickin' HOH, who has a lot of power. I mean, he doesn't notice this, that he's got some allies. I mean, even usually, even if you don't know for sure that there's a huge alliance, I mean, you can kind of see it, considering they do hang out together a lot. I mean, they don't segregate themselves. They do hang out with other people in the house, but
when you see the same
the four guys are always hanging out, and they're always talking, and then they change subject when you come in. Hello, I mean, like, you
Ding
know,
ding, ding ding.
like don't like when you're coming to the house, bring your brain with you, kind of thing. So, um, it gets down to the eviction vote, and it becomes a split, 5 for Kira and 5
5 for
for
Mackie.
Mackie. And you can kind of tell where the audience is leaning because I'm pretty sure they wanted Mackie to stay and they wanted Kira to go.
Mm-hmm.
And so, of course, it came down to Dane. Well, here's the thing: he's aligned with Adam and then the others, and you already told him
If you
that
win,
if I win, you're basically
excuse me.
my target. And he already knows they want to go out. I mean, yes, he
Yeah.
wants to go after Sam too, but at this point, going after me or my boys,
Yeah.
kind of thing. Then you're my target. So, of
Dane
course,
struck
Dane
first.
gets rid of Mackie. So Mackie gets evicted.
And
Not a big surprise.
oh, what a thing! As he's walking out,
As he walks in, a pox on the
a
house.
pox on the house. How very biblical.
So I
How
mean,
very
and he's like on all of you. I mean, half the house voted to keep
keep
you.
you.
You know,
So
it wasn't a unanimous like Laura's eviction. Half the house voted to keep you. So why are you putting a pox on those who actually voted to keep you? Huh?
thanks for coming.
Okay, whatever.
So
But
he
what are you
does
gonna
his
do?
he does his little 3-minute interview with,
There usually is longer after, it's just not during the show.
and
But
then he gets to see the goodbye
the goodbye
goodbye
messages, and then he realizes that there was an alliance called Pretty Boys, and who was in it. So then I think he really knew what he did wrong there.
Yeah.
But and because they said you were throwing our names out, like 3 of the members of the alliance you're throwing out.
Yeah,
so hello,
so-
that's why we got to get rid of you.
You handed us the gun and the bullets to put you down.
So then it's HOH time, and they had to do a mission
Beforehand.
where they had to like do push-ups, and then they had to all get in the hot tub,
Have a nap,
hide from an intruder, do a
dance.
conga line through the house, dance. Is that it?
There was
that
a few,
we saw.
There was a few things they had to do, and
that was, I think, all we saw. But
and Adam cuts to the diary room with Adam. Big Brother doesn't have you do anything without a purpose.
Right. Usually there's a reason for it. So they were actually had to pay attention.
Yeah.
And, it looked like most of them were. Because, the actual HOH was that usually if more or less it's a true or false, but it was true or lie kind of thing. And they go off with 2, and then the next one who wins picks the next 2 until it's down to the last 2.
Yeah.
So Stephanie was doing really well. And so was Chelsea. And a couple of the other ones. But there was one, we talked about this, maybe you guys noticed it too, that sometimes it looked like they hit the buzzer, but the light didn't go off. And then we noticed at one point, Sam, I think, with Stephania, or they call her Esty,
literally looked over,
were like hitting it. And it looked like Sam hit her buzzer first, but it went to Esty and not to Sam. And so we're like, and I said this to Doug 218, didn't it look like Laura hit, or Sam hit that first and not Esty, yet Esty's the one who got it.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, I don't know, if you guys notice that too, comment and see if you thought the same thing, because it looked kind of weird to me, because they were even looking over like,
what's going on? Well, like I said to you, it looks like, the fix is in. They want certain people to
win.
And
well, because I know now the power is actually staying right now on the same side of the house, and you'll notice, you guys will probably, if you've watched Big Brother enough, either the Canadian one or the American one, it becomes kind of obvious. It's not that equal. The power will stay for 2-3 weeks on one side of the house, then something will happen and it'll shift to the other side of the house. And if you really watch carefully, now we're not saying that that's what they're doing deliberately, but I mean, we're not the first ones to say this. We've actually looked at a lot of Big Brother sites. A lot of people say this. It looks like it's rigged in some ways for some people to win and others not to win, because that to me looked like Sam should have got it. She like
Oh,
hit it really quick, yet hers didn't go off.
yeah.
I didn't catch it. Now
If
Esty
you
might have
didn't,
hit it first, but to me it looked like Sam did, and she still got it. So I
well,
don't know. That's what it
maybe,
looked like to us. But if you
you
saw
know,
it
yeah.
differently, let us know.
And you know what? Like we said, it wouldn't be the first time reality shows or game shows
Oh,
have fixed.
most of them are. I mean,
You
let's
know,
face it, they're scripted. I mean, they have ways they want it to go. I mean, there's ones that nobody likes that they'd be like on both Survivor and Big Brother,
and somehow they survive.
and somehow they survive. Like nobody likes it, but nobody votes them
Yeah.
out or either. I mean, I don't know about that. I think maybe and if you watch the feeds, you will hear them catch them talking about that they are kind of
Directed.
directed in a certain way in the diary room.
Yeah.
Like there's multiple house guests have said this, that they want them to say something a certain way, or they want them like not necessarily, they're not telling them how to vote, but it's almost like that, and of course most it's TV, so
Yeah.
it's scripted to a point,
Well,
because you know
even
those think would win have won.
well, there was even one of the alliances, the regulators. They were told this is what you're going to call yourselves,
Yeah, that came out. Yeah.
or
Well, yeah, that we even said this. Was some of these names, was the Pretty Boys their idea,
or was it
or was
production?
I given to them? I mean, like most of these guys, the Pretty Boys, are athletes.
Yeah.
Why would they call themselves the Pretty Boys? Why not the Athletic Boys or whatever? Most of them play hockey,
Yeah.
but like is it like a sarcastic thing, or I don't know, but I don't know about that. Like that's why I said to him, I don't know if that's their name that they picked or they were given that name.
But you see, here's the problem, and we noticed that. Well, I think it was season 2 of the American Big
Yeah, you're going back a ways.
Brother.
Yeah.
And she kept counting down 3 more to go.
Oh, Danielle.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if she was season 2. I think she was a little bit later because that's the year Lisa won.
But they kept telling her, "We want you to say this. We
Yeah,
want you to say that." And at the time, they got to see
they got to see, yeah, the
their
diary
diary
room.
room,
Yes, back then they did.
and so
Now they don't because of that.
and
Because they believe she lost because the people in jury
saw that,
saw what she was saying again about them, and so they believe that's why, or she would have won it.
yeah,
They believe that, so that's why they no longer can see the diary room. In case you didn't know, that bit, a little bit of Big Brother history. They used to be able to see what they were saying in the diary room, and the jury could, but because of that, they can't see that anymore. They can only watch like the competitions and stuff.
Yeah.
Like they used to be able to see more of the interaction in the house, which actually to me makes more sense.
Well, if
because then you see actually how they're playing. It's not always based. It shouldn't always be based just on competitions.
Yeah.
It should be based on how well they manipulated or played the game
and
socially.
overall,
like
the overall aspects you should be judging on, and if like you
well,
said,
because look at Dr. Will. He didn't win any competitions, yet he won because he was a good manipulator.
yeah,
Now, if they hadn't been able to see that, he was season 2 winner. If they hadn't been able to see that, he probably wouldn't have won, because if you base it up just on the competitions, you'd never see him win anything. Yeah. So, those who left earlier kind of thing. I mean, that's why he won. Yeah, he was a good player. He got other people to do his dirty work for him. But now, sometimes the wrong person's winning because they might have won like 5 competitions. Yeah, it's a part of it, but it's actually playing the game is a part, because that actually happens for more time than the competitions do. So anyway, it came down to Chelsea and Estefania, and Chelsea ended up winning HOH for this week. At this point, we don't know who her target is. I think she wants to target Mama Kay. That's what it sounds like. Kaylin.
Yeah.
And possibly Kira again. But because Kira kind of gave them info, I don't know if she's really on their radar right now.
Well, maybe get your viewers to um, comment on who they think.
Who do you think that Chelsea would want to target? I know nominations are today, but won't see them until Sunday's episode, so
Yeah.
we won't say anything because they actually haven't taken place yet anyway, as of this recording. So we can tell you.
So
Yeah.
basically, Chelsea. If you just watch the program, Chelsea's a wild card. You don't know.
She's kind of aligned with Adam and that, so it will be whoever they want her to.
Yeah, how bad Adam gets into her ear, but
Well, she's already the feeds today. She's already said to Dane he's not on her radar, so she's not going to target any Adam's allies because she's kind of allied with him and Samantha.
well, they're flirt buddies.
Yeah, they've been flirting a little bit, but at this point, so
Makes me wonder how Sam feels about the whole.
she's flirting with Mark. Everybody caught that? She's been flirting with Mark. The other day she jumped into Mark's arms and was hugging him. She's been flirting with Mark, but I think Mark is doing that to try to pry Sam and Adam apart to make Adam doubt Sam. But he's flirting with Chelsea, so
to make him go. See, she's shady.
well, yeah, but he can't fault her for doing what he's doing. So
Nope.
you know, just saying. Just saying.
See, this is we talked about this. This is what happens when you put, you know, people enclose people in a space, and they suddenly get all pent up, and now it's like emotions and all that get.
Well, everybody says it's a hard game. I'm sure it is.
Yeah.
Everybody who's ever played it says it's a harder game, like to play than a watch. I'm sure it is a difficult game, and actually, even a lot of the Survivor people have said they think Big Brother's harder because at least on Survivor they can walk away. Like they can go down the beach or go like fishing or go swimming or something.
You've got an out.
But there's only so many places you can go in this house. I mean, yeah, you could go where the hot tub is because there really isn't an outside space like there was in the big like the American one because it's in California and in the summertime. There's an outside space, but it'd be freaking cold. You do their breath, and that's where the hot tub is. So they will go out there too, but there isn't a lot of place for them to go.
No.
Like the house is big, but it's not that big. And even the outside space, if you actually look at it, it's not actually that big. It looks bigger on TV than it really is.
Oh, the outside space is about the size of a postage stamp.
Yeah, it's pretty small. Even the outside outside where the pool table and all that is actually not that big. Apparently there is a pool, but I haven't seen it yet.
Well, it's
maybe you guys have, but I haven't seen it yet.
The difference is between the American and us is our house is in an enclosed space.
Well, they are too. It's studio, but it's also theirs is in the summertime.
Yeah,
and it's in California, so they can have like an outside with it, like.
They actually get sun. To see. Yeah, they actually get to see.
They do get to see sun here. I mean, sometimes they've moved the like on the feeds. They'll show they do get sun. You can see it coming in, but it's cold. It's March in Ontario, in Toronto. So I mean, although right now it's not. There's places that are colder than us right now, but it's still pretty chilly to be sitting outside for a long periods of time.
Wow.
Yeah, no, I was just saying. So, but. On the whole, even the American outside space is not that huge. It looks bigger on TV than it actually is. But I guess they're on a set, so they can't make it that big, right? Well, it's at least it gives them fresh air.
And we forgot to tell your lovely viewers that the Have-Nots had a Wendy's competition.
Oh, yes, that was good. They had a Wendy's competition, the Have-Nots, this week. And it was based on a little video that they had to see, which was Kevin and Karen from, what season was it? It wasn't last year. The year before, maybe?
I think so.
Remember them? Kevin's 21. And
they had to answer questions about...
based on the video.
They had to get 3 correct answers.
Yeah.
If they got 3 correct answers, everyone got Wendy's.
Got Wendy's, and they won. It was the have-nots was Sam, Adam, and was it Mark? I think
Yeah.
they volunteered for it anyway.
And so they went through it. They
And they did
answered
it.
it.
They won, so they got their Wendy's.
It was a Wendy's party, man.
That was cool. And no, it wasn't Ika. Ika's the one who before when Dane invited
Eddie.
Eddie up. It was Ika. He gave them the. That was
What
funny.
what a thing that well come we'll give you a bit player part. We'll put you behind the Wendy's screen for the.
Well, they do that with the American one too. You'll see like Jesse, Mr. Pactacular. He shows up every once in a while and does stuff. You've seen Rachel a few times.
Jeff and
Jordan pop up. Jeff does a lot of the interviews once the house guests are evicted with the American one. So I mean it's similar kind of thing with this when they don't do the sideshow anymore here. If you guys remember the sideshow, they don't do it anymore. So and that used to be oh frick. I did have their names. Oh no, I forget their names. If you know their names,
I don't know.
Last year was Sarah and
the Doobie Princess.
Oh well, I can't remember their names.
But
it's right here too.
They don't do it anymore.
No, they don't. Not anymore. I don't know. It was popular, so I don't know why they don't do it anymore. But they don't.
they I think it's migrated into Facebook Live that they'll do their interview.
Yeah, but it's not like a round table kind of thing like Sideshow was.
It's just the evicted house guest, and I think.
Yeah, and the interviewer.
Yeah.
Like they do with Jeff on the Big Brother one, or the American Big Brother one.
Well, it's probably come down to them that this is what we do in the American
budget
one.
Cuts probably too.
Could be too.
Budget because they would have to pay them to come in to do it right every week. So and because it was almost canceled and it was brought back, they probably had to cut somewhere. Yeah. So that's one thing that went. So oh well, what can you do? That's all right.
How would you rate the episode if you had to give it a rating?
I'd say it was pretty good. It wasn't unexpected though, like I said. I expected it to kind of.
Yeah.
I figured it'd be Mackie just because based on what I've been seeing.
Okay.
Maybe a 7 or 8. It was pretty good. Nothing shocking though.
Yeah.
What about you?
5.
No,
I give it a middle of the road. This is only the second eviction. So
nothing really earth-shattering. It's not like anything's really unexpected yet.
There's these guys are still trying to get traction under them, and you haven't really seen any real big power moves or real.
Not really. I mean, right now they're trying, as usual, ones that they assume are weak, like Kira. I mean, it's not real it's not really that big of a stretch to go after someone like Kira. Like, they always seem to be really afraid to make any kind of moves. And then if you do, you're target number one for actually playing the game instead of going after someone that nobody be upset over. I mean, that's not really a power move.
No.
It's not that memorable to get rid of somebody that hasn't really bonded with anybody.
Big move. But
and it's like, I don't know, it's like, and then if they did go after somebody maybe more of a power player, everybody in the whole freaking house goes after them instead of thinking on their own. Now this week was a little bit different because the house, it shows definite division in the house because half of them were for Mackie, half of them were for Kira, and I don't think they voted for Kira because they really wanted to keep her. They just didn't want Mackie to target them. So I really don't think they saved Kira because she's good for their game. It's just
they saved themselves.
They saved themselves because Mackie basically outright said, "I'm coming after you if you keep me." So
the golden rule: if you're gonna take a shot at somebody, you best make it count.
Make it stick.
And make it stick.
Make sure you land your hits.
Because if you miss, you're out. Look at Mackie. Mackie's out the door.
Well, he did a stupid thing.
Well, you know,
Sorry, Mackie, but it was, you have to know, it was pretty dumb to do.
well, to, you know, you had no position, Mackie had no position of power to fire that shot at him and go and tell him,
Well, he was on the block.
yeah,
He had
that's what I mean.
like, you know, you don't tell the HOH who
If,
still has power that, yeah, I put you up, dude.
if I get off here,
Like we were saying, it makes more sense if there's already clear division. You knew he wasn't on your side at all, and then you negotiate, kind of thing. You know, I mean, because you know you're going to be a target of his or whatnot, and that's usually later in the game. But right now, when everybody wants to get rid of Kira anyway, so you don't say anything like, "Oh no, no, I've got plenty of other people I thought of that." You know, I just don't mesh with right now. You don't tell, you know, you
yeah,
just
but
don't do that. You
yeah,
know.
oh, I have plenty of other people I don't mesh with, blah blah blah. But I'll say, I'm going to tell you straight, yeah, you're my first target. Stupid.
Well, I didn't say he was his first target. He said he probably put him up because he put him up. But he
Well,
also threw out Adam and Anthony's names, and I think maybe Mark, who are all pretty boys. So I mean, that's how you don't do that, and it just shows he's not paying attention.
yeah. Well,
So
he's just there for a good time.
yeah, it seems like it. I don't like it, even. Some of them have said, Mama Kay told him that, Esty told him that. You got to play with your head.
Yeah.
You know, this is
Wake,
still a game. Yes, we can have fun. Yes, you know, but it's a game. You know,
wake the
wake
heck
up,
up.
basically.
So,
Well, that's it for this week for Big Brother Canada Season 7, Episode 5, Eviction episode. The next one is Sunday, and you'll see the nomination ceremony and see who Chelsea nominated for eviction.
you know,
She hasn't nominated anybody yet.
okay.
So that's why I couldn't tell you.
Huh.
We don't know yet. So
No.
later tonight, if you watch the feed, you'll find out. But if not, we'll let
Tune
you know
in.
on Sunday who Chelsea nominated for eviction.
Good to be here.
Let us know who you like and who you want to see Chelsea go after.
This should be
Put
interesting.
it in the comment section. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe. I upload every time the Big Brother Canada is on and give our commentary and a recap on the episode. This is Doug218 for joining us. Thank you.
Hey, anytime.
We'll see you next on Sunday, guys.
We'll see you on Sunday.
Take care.
Bye, guys.
Bye.